It's time to dive beneath the surface and into the minds and hearts of your favorite celebrities and pop culture icons. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey guys, what's up? You're watching Up and Adam. My name's Adam Knoll, and for those of you who don't know me, I'm the guy bringing you guys all the weekly interviews and recaps from your favorite celebrities and pop culture influencers. But for those of you who do know me, you know that that's not why we're always here, right? Guys, before we get started, you know how this works. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and also hit that notification bell because you guys don't want to miss anything that we have coming up. Guys, again, I've already addressed this in my Atlanta recap, but there are so many silly things being said right now about allegedly taking a story or something like that. And again, I'm not going to engage. I did a story that I read off of page 6. I was not the first one to do the story. I didn't report the story first. I didn't claim to report the story first. I literally gave page 6 credit where credit was due, alongside Good Morning America, who reported it before any other bloggers. I just want to say that. Nobody else reported this before them, and I'm not going to engage in a defamation of character or anything that is being slanderous against my name. Especially in today's climate, guys. It's 2020. There's so much negativity going around, being spewed, and that's not what this channel is about. So I just wanted to first and foremost thank all of you, especially the Angel community, for just continuing to send me love and support. I'm getting all of your messages. I appreciate you guys. Just know that I am so above this. I'm not even going to engage with that person, those people. I will not even, I don't play in dirty water. Let's just say that. Let's all wish them the best. Let's just send them positivity, love, light, and prayers, because that's what this channel is all about. And let's just hope that they get well. I think that's the best thing to say, is just get well. Guys, enough about that. I'm ready to move on and talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac, because that's what we're here to talk about. This was exciting. This was the finale, and it was not only the finale, but the extended 75-minute, 15 more minutes of a finale, and I thought it was great, honestly. We start off with Giselle talking to Juan, kind of in her confessional a little bit, but knowing that the whole synopsis of this episode was going to really be Juan and Robin's engagement. Giselle calls Juan and asks him, like, are you ready? Are you getting excited? And then he starts cutting out for a second. She's like, Juan, where'd you go, Juan? And it just, of course, makes for dramatic TV, right? He obviously didn't get cold feet like Giselle is asking him, but we find that out later in the episode. Moving on, we actually got to hear a little bit more from Monique, which I felt like we would, especially in the finale, but we see her and she's talking to a therapist about her counterclaim, her and Candiace's lawsuit, and everything that's kind of going on with that situation. Now, when they're talking, she says that she feels iced out, isolated, and just kind of put off to the side by all of the women. And just to be fair, she really was, except by Karen and Ashley Darby. Now, again, guys, when you put your hands on somebody first, that is a problem, right? You did put your hands on somebody, but at the same time, the way that the women were so quick to just ice her out was interesting to me. It almost makes you question, was there a motive? Was this a plot to get rid of Monique? I don't know. I'm actually curious what you guys think, though. What do you think? Do you think that this was a plot to get rid of Monique, or do you think Monique deserved to be iced out? Guys, comment below. Let me know. I want to read your thoughts. Monique did say, though, she's not sorry for defending herself when she needed to. So that's where she stands with that. Moving over to Ashley Darby, she's sitting there with little baby Dean, Michael, and her little baby is so cute. I just want to say, he does look like a little Michael, though. So maybe Michael used to be cute back in his day. I don't know. But Ashley was saying that ever since they had the meeting with her mom and her uncle, that everything's been going really good for Michael and Ashley Darby. So with that, I guess everything's on the up and up. We know now that Ashley is pregnant with baby number 2. And this finale at the end was not the best for Michael Darby. Again, we're going to jump into that when we get later into this recap. But in the moment that we're watching them take photos with baby Dean, it seemed like everything was great for a second. Oof. Moving over to Candiace, we see her go out with Mama Dorothy, and they're getting their nails done. Candiace says that Mama Dorothy has just been really there, a rock for her during this whole these legal battles, this legal battle, and the altercation that happened with Monique. Dorothy's really been there for Candiace, and that's good because Candiace needs a support system too. Just to be fair, we're not biased at all. We love all of these housewives, right? But we are just trying to kind of logistically figure out what's going on here. With that being said, though, Candiace does deserve support, and sometimes we've seen where her and her mom have had a tumultuous relationship, so it's nice to see that she does get that support from her mom. Onwards and upwards, and let's keep it moving. Now let's go over to the Grand Dame, Karen Huger, because we see Karen talking to Ray about this potential ambush. So Candiace, obviously, we saw the wig shift with a bang party, and Candiace and everyone's alluding to the fact that Karen really tried to set up Monique and Candiace kind of coming face to face. Now for Karen, she's saying, no, check the text messages, because the text messages say I invited one at 4 and one at 6:30. Now for Candiace, she's saying, yes, that is what is in the receipts. That's what it says, but Karen called her. Karen called her off to the side and said, hey, maybe you can come earlier if you want to come around 5:15 or so. And that's where Candiace's problem is, because she thinks that, or she knows that if she had showed up on time, that she would have run in face to face with Monique. And that's not something, obviously, when you're going through a legal battle and somebody just put their hands on you, that you would necessarily want to do. Now, they were saying that maybe Karen was trying to set this up to have some sort of resolve between the two. But regardless, it's not Karen's fight. So if this were true, it's pretty wrong of Karen, especially considering the situation. Now, since the finale does kind of revolve around Robin and Juan's holiday party, I just want to get back to Robin and Juan for a second. We watch them go to a therapist and they start talking about their issues, and Robin and Juan come out and talk about the infidelity and what went wrong with them. Now, when Juan ended up committing an infidelity after they had their 2 young boys, Robin said that at the time she just didn't care. Her focus was not on Juan. Her focus was on her 2 babies and just being a mom. That's where her focus lied. She wasn't really concerned about what he was doing, and he was out seeking attention and love elsewhere. Now, does it make it right? No, but the good thing is that they're talking about it and they're trying to move forward, especially if they're going to be great parents for their children. I think it's great and healthy that they're talking about it. Or just don't be together. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's A or B. Talk about it, work out your differences, and kind of just be great role models for your kids, or just move on and be also great role models for your kids by showing them that you don't have to stay in a sticky situation. Now, guys, going back to the main finale party, again, Robin and Juan's holiday party. This should have been the wig shift with a bang party, but we see Candiace and Chris headed on over, and she's revving up her voice. She sounds kind of like a little ambulance in the car, but at least she warned the driver, like, hey, listen, I have to rev up my voice because she's going to be performing her remix of I See You at Robin and Juan's party. And honestly, again, guys, we're not biased here. I just like to point out facts, and I thought she did a great job, especially when the go-go music kind of kicked on in the background. They edited it to make it look a little rough, especially with the mic like sound, but I thought she did a fantastic job. She's obviously a great performer. She's a great actress, and let's give her credit where credit is due. Speaking of great actresses, let's go back to Giselle for a second, because when Giselle's asked, where's Jamal? She's like, listen, it's Saturday. This party's on a Saturday, and Jamal needs to be in the church on Sunday. So again, whether it's an excuse or it's real, Jamal still continues to live in the phone, and he doesn't show up for any of the events, especially not Robin and Juan's engagement party. Guess it was more important to be in Atlanta and make sure that he made it to church, which is also, I guess, fair in his own right. But what I didn't understand is Giselle was saying Jamal wants her to move to Atlanta, but he's never there. What do you mean? If he's never there, where is he actually? Where is Jamal ever? He's never there, but then he's there on Sundays because he has to make it for church. But then when he's not there on Sundays, where is he? I'm so confused. And at this point, if Giselle has trust for this, I mean, it's just so questionable. Again, guys, I only ask you guys this when I really just need help and clarity, but please comment below and let me know what is going on with these two. And is this going to come out in the reunion? I sure hope it does. One person who wasn't there from the get-go at Robin and Juan's party was Karen. Apparently she was having mechanical issues on the plane that she was flying back in, which everyone seemed to think that this was a pretty convenient way of getting out of the party, especially because last time they saw her, she was leaving her own party. When the going got tough, Karen got going. Robin's calling BS on this whole situation, but Karen did end up making it later. We'll get to that in a second. But before we do, Wendy calls her out and says Karen is being fake as H-E-double-L, saying she's being fake as, and there's a pattern to it. Now, Dr. Wendy Osefo, you just got here, so it's very interesting that this is how you feel already, but is she trying to secure her spot? Or maybe she's just trying to come off with strong opinions, or maybe she actually feels like Karen is fake. I don't know. I think that Karen is now a seasoned housewife and she knows how to play the game. So I don't know if I were Dr. Wendy Osefo, I just don't know if I would want to play with the vet. You know who did show though was Charisse. Charisse showed again. Not only was she here at the beginning of the season, but now she's here to end off the season. And it almost makes me question, is Charisse trying to get back on our screens for the Real Housewives of Potomac? Now she did start the franchise. She was instrumental in the beginning of it. So maybe she would be trying to get back on, but do we want Charisse back? Again, guys, this is a question for you guys. I really personally like Charisse, so if she did come back, I think it would be interesting. I just don't know how it would play into the dynamic and if it would really offer us the dimension that we're looking for. Now, after Candiace did perform her remix to her hit, Ashley did come on the confessional and throw a little shade, and she's like, listen, anybody could yodel to a good go-go beat and make it sound good. So that was shady. We hear you and we see you, Ashley Darby, but you know, whatever. This is Housewives. I guess this is how they play, just to be fair. But after she was done performing, we see where Juan makes an announcement and starts to talk about his love for Robin. In doing so, he ends up kind of getting down on one knee and making the proposal to get engaged again, and everybody was like, "Wah!" freaking out, which was crazy. I was so excited for Robin too. That ring was massive. I couldn't even believe. Literally looking at the ring, I was like, wow, you better have security when you're walking around with this thing, because people are going to think that that thing is worth $100,000, especially you have that housewife status and you're walking around with something that's bigger than your hand. I was like baffled, honestly. I think that's the best word. Shocked, baffled, something. I don't know. I just thought it was amazing. After doing so, though, Juan makes it back over to the bar by Michael Darby, and Michael cheerses Juan and says, here's to a bachelor party in Vegas with no cameras, with this kind of creepy laugh. I thought that was a little awkward, guys, and Michael Darby, you better behave, because if you don't, Ashley's going to take you for everything and take both of those babies. Now, she didn't get her post-nup. She did get her prenup, but I think baby number 2 actually was her post-nup. So you better be careful, man, and keep it in your pants, because if you don't, she's going to catch you. Whether there are cameras there or not, there weren't cameras there when you got caught the last few times. So I guess at what point is your wife enough? Especially because it's Ashley Darby. She's stunning. She's beautiful. I definitely think she's enough. Guys, look who showed. Karen's here. So Karen shows up, and she said she had to show for Robin's moment because Robin doesn't get a lot of moments. And I thought, again, low-key shade, but that's true, just housewife fashion. When she showed up and she started talking to the women, Charisse ended up getting up from the group. And I know this was totally producers telling her, like, hey, you got to go. You're not a part of this main situation. And she's like, I just got to go find myself at the bar. Guys, I've been in other Bravo filming situations where they've asked me to get up and walk away too, and they just completely cut that part out. So I'm sure that's exactly what they did for Charisse in this situation. It just, I don't know. I put my producer's cap on and I was like, oh, okay, I see exactly what's going on here. Now, when Karen was sitting down talking to all of the women, she said, I forgive you. And they're like, forgive us, especially Dr. Wendy Osefo. And she's like, yeah, you guys made me kind of mess up my dinner date and I had to eat KFC, 4 thighs, a biscuit, and some coleslaw. So yes, I forgive you. And all of the women were like, wait a minute. You ended up leaving the party. What are you talking about? When you were, again, asked questions and the going got tough, Karen got going. And she's just kind of maintaining her composure like, no, I left because you guys were pretty much attacking me with some bull and I wasn't going to engage in it. I'm so divided on this. When all of the women are talking, Monique comes up as a topic, and Karen says that Monique's really working on herself. Now, Candiace ended up getting upset, saying, why are you sticking up for her? Especially, you're saying she's working on herself, but then she's going on social media perpetuating these lies and all of this, like, bull. And it's just ridiculous. Again, guys, I am not biased, but it's kind of a double standard because in all fairness to Candiace, we've seen you on social media throw out these different kind of aggressive comments and telling people maybe they should just go pass and other things that I don't even want to jump into. So you have to be careful and not throw stones when your house is glass too. That's all I'm going to say. It goes both ways. You can't hold somebody accountable and then just think that you get to go recklessly act a certain way and people aren't going to hold you accountable. It just doesn't make sense. And this is 2020. Today's climate is very different. Everyone is held accountable. You're no different. When the women are talking, we see Michael Darby walk up to Chris Bassett and tell him he needs to get his wife under control. Chris tells him he needs to back off, and this somehow just got so out of hand. Now, I think that Michael Darby had one too many drinks. I think he had a few, obviously, for the way or how the way the party played out on this night, but it was aggressive. When Chris kind of pushed him back, he had his hand on his chest, but he wasn't really being over, like he didn't hit him. Michael Darby said, he hit me. He actually did not hit him at all. I think we all saw this. Chris didn't hit him. This would have been way more of a debacle if that had happened. But when the women end up getting up, Ashley runs over to see what's going on, and Michael Darby's like, he hit me, he pushed me, he hit me, he pushed me. And then all of a sudden, Ashley Darby's yelling across at Candiace and Chris and saying, you want to take down Monique for being aggressive, but you're doing the same thing. And then Candiace pops off, and it's just like this chain reaction. So I don't know. I just don't find Chris Bassett to be wrong in this situation. I feel like, honestly, Michael Darby had no business saying that to him, and he was really just telling him to get away from him. And when he pushed him back, he was just like, get out of my face. He never really put his hands on him in a physical, harmful way, but more so a back up and get out of my face kind of way. So that's it. In the end, though, guys, Chris and Candiace were asked to leave the party. They end up leaving the party. Karen's like, I'm not going to participate in this either, because it seems like every party they go to, things are just popping off. And at this point, who wants to be a part of that? Especially every time you show up somewhere, there's an altercation. It's going to get to a point where they're not invited to any location in Potomac, Maryland, DMV area at all. I mean, you can't just go into every single location and pop off and things just go awry. Then people aren't going to want you in their business. But Michael Darby is not done. When Ashley keeps telling him to calm down, he walks over to production. He's yelling at production. Production's telling him that he's not supposed to be over there. Security's putting his hands on him, or their hands on him. And he's like, why is everyone touching me? Ashley Darby's trying to get him under control, and she's like, stop it. Just stop it. And he's just like, no, I'm not going to stop it. And again, guys, I think this was a lot of liquid courage. Ashley Darby ends up just freaking out, and she's like, this is just bull, and she can't get him under control. He ends up going outside after telling them numerous times that he's going to call his lawyer and blah, blah, blah. But Ashley Darby was just like, you're embarrassing me. And he really was embarrassing her. She maintained her composure. She's the one filming. She's the one signing the contract to be a housewife. Why is he acting like a fool? Why did you even come at this point? But it seemed like he did kind of show with a chip on his shoulder, and he obviously has his feelings toward Candiace, especially when Candiace was, the flashback of Candiace the previous season kind of disparaging Michael Darby's name. With that being said, guys, that's how we ended this party. But then we end up going back to Monique in her confessional, giving us an update on the case. When she gives us an update in the case and the producers ask her, like, what's going on, she says that after careful consideration and the courts reviewed the documents, they decided that both parties were guilty for kind of being a part of this debacle, and that they're going to just drop this case. She had this like maniacal laugh, like this kind of thing, and it was a little kind of out there, but she was just celebrating the fact that she's not going to be taken away from her babies, and that, this is over. And I'm sure this had to have been extremely stressful for Monique. I'm sure she wasn't laughing the whole time. I'm sure, just like Candiace spent a lot of moments crying and kind of freaking out, I'm sure so did Monique. I can definitely see where that would have been possible. But thank God this is dropped. Neither one of these women are going to jail, which is nice, because we don't want to see any of our housewives go to jail. I just want to say that. Now, Candiace doesn't feel the same way. She feels like Monique's team and everything, that it was just a bunch of BS, and her lawyer, and she had her own comments, but she personally feels like, since they are on a reality show, that the judge and the court system just kind of threw out their case like, oh, this is just some reality bull crap and whatever, we don't have time for this. But for Candiace, it was more than that because it was personal, physical, and it was in her space. So she wanted more done about the situation. It didn't work out in her favor, but she did want more done. Now, I'm sure, guys, we're going to see a lot of this play out in the reunion, especially because Monique comes with the binder with tabs for each housewife. Candiace is going to finally see Monique for the first time. Chris Samuels shows up and he's coming to defend his family, and I don't even know what he's going to say. There's so many other situations. Giselle has to answer for Jamal. Karen comes there with her A game on. It's just going to be a lot. I can say that. And with that being said, guys, if you haven't already, though, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell. That way you guys don't miss anything that we have coming up. And I asked you a few questions during this live, so make sure you guys go back and comment because you know I love reading the comments. Jason loves reading the comments, and we want to hear your thoughts. Guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for supporting us and continuing to live in the space of positivity, love, and light. We really appreciate you guys, and I can't thank you enough. We have some great collaborations tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Check us out every Monday and Wednesday. Thanks for watching Up and Adam.